Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Municipality of Monroeville's regular council meeting. Today is Tuesday, September 9th, 2014, approximately 7 p.m. We'd all kindly rise for the Lord's Prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The moment of silence.
Oh, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I almost forgot. Please rise again. A moment of silence for the 9/11 attack on our country, which is this Thursday, for all those that gave their lives in service of this country and those currently fighting, and for the firemen and policemen that gave their lives as well. Thank you all. Thank you, Rob. Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mayor Arsenko?
Here.
Mrs. Gatos?
Here.
Dr. Griesbach?
Here.
Mr. Harvey?
Here.
Mr. Johns?
Here.
Mr. Clary?
Here.
Mr. Duncan?
Here.
Mr. Wilson?
Here.
Mr. Little?
Here.
Mr. Dice?
Here.
Mr. Lally?
Here.
Mr. Hugus?
Here.
Mr. Sedlak?
Here.
Mr. Chufo?
Here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll open to public comment on proposed agenda items only. Agenda items only, if you will, please. Please sign in, state your name for the record.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. My name is John Yakum. I am a resident of Monroeville. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, Mr. Little, Mr. Dice. I have one question. Last month, you tabled the payment of the Dickey McCamey bill. Can you tell me if that has since been paid?
No, it hasn't.
Okay, is it going to be up again today for?
No, it will not, next month.
Okay, so it hasn't been paid and we're not paying it this month?
Correct.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave the floor open for any resident like to address for agenda items only. If you'll kindly sign in and state your name for the record.
My name is Robert Serafini. I am a resident of Monroeville. Can anybody tell me why the Temple tabled the meeting tonight?
Yeah, Bob, I believe their engineers were not available, is what I was told.
They haven't been available for 3 years, right?
I understand. That's what I was told, their engineers. Am I correct in that, Mr. Hughes? Or Mr. Shufo, maybe?
Mr. Shufo fielded the call. Yes. Your engineers are not available.
Was that complete? No other reason?
That is one of the reasons why they tabled our application.
May I have the other reason, please?
I don't have it.
There were, at the Citizens Night, there were comments made under the Citizens Night portion of the work session that pertained to their application. And it's the principle by the municipality, we usually do not invite the applicant to the council work session. They're only invited to the council regular scheduled meeting for the public hearing. They felt that some of the information that was said during the workshop, they wanted an opportunity to have a voice when that information was brought forth to this council by residents of Turnpike Gardens. So that was the other reason. So as a request of their tabling, they're going to have an opportunity to attend the work session for council for the October council meeting.
Do you think that's fair? The reason they wanted to table it partially is because of the fact that they didn't come to the council, I mean,
Mr.
the citizens
Serafini,
meeting?
I did consult with our counsel, our legal counsel, and I'm going to defer to Mr. Dice on the MPC rolling it. You have to allow for a request to tabling.
Yes, this is their first application for table before this body. I understand there were tables done at the Planning Commission, but that's not the same thing. This is a conditional use process, which is specifically defined under the municipality's planning code. It calls for council to take testimony. It's quasi-judicial in nature. It's adversarial in nature to some extent. Oftentimes it's not, but the code calls for that kind of conduct. When an applicant makes a request for table for the first time, if you were to deny that and then deny the project, I can tell you Judge James would laugh and say, send it back and tell him to listen to him.
Okay,
Now, just one more thing. I think that if council is of a mind that they don't want this to be tabled any further, I think that they'll be acting on this table tonight, but my advice would be to make sure that they get notice vis-à-vis a letter that says there will be no more tables, that it will take place in the month of October. Fairness really doesn't, fairness is something I read about the first year of law school. Fairness doesn't come into this. It's an adversarial proceeding. They have a right, just as anybody else does, that owns the land, to make application, and council has to pass on that.
no, the reason
And they're not supposed to get predisposed. In other words, you all have come to council and asked them to do certain things. Know that this council is being instructed not to give comment or offer opinion before the vote's taken, because again, if you did that, you could be predisposed and be conflicted out, and the court would knock your vote out.
I understand what you're saying. The only thing is, we have a lot of people from Turnpike Gardens that would like to make the meetings. We call them up, say, be here. They say, okay, we'll be here. Then we have to call them back and say, don't come this week, come next time. I mean, it's just a really inconvenience to our people as well.
I don't disagree. It's inconvenient to council, too.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, but this is the United States, and an applicant gets one free pass.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get to, sir. Is there just one time?
Well, if council so chooses to give them notice,
Okay, because, I mean, like I said, I agree it's an inconvenience to them, to you people, but it is an inconvenience to the rest of the citizens of Monroeville also. Thank you.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave the floor open for any resident who'd like to address. Hi. Please sign in and state your name for the record that you live in Monroeville. You do not have to give your address.
My name is Teresa Krentz, and I do live in Monroeville. And I'm on the bottom half of what the discussion has been thus far, right across the way on Neighbors Creek. And there's a serious drainage issue right now where we have two properties there and they flood every time it rains. And the previous construction that was done before we purchased the property in 2011 has lent to that already. So are we invited to attend the same workshop?
Absolutely.
And how do we receive notice of that like we did of this meeting so that we know when to schedule accordingly?
It will be, who has a calendar right in front of them?
I do.
it's always the first.
First Thursday.
It's the second.
October 9th is the work session.
Okay, October 9th.
Yeah, it's easier.
A month from today.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Bob.
And so we would be able to come in here and participate in that meeting as well to address concerns specific to that
Absolutely.
group?
Absolutely.
Oh, my.
Okay.
Yes.
And are
So
those-
that you're aware, the workshop session is a session that I'm going to advise council not to make any comments. Again, do not make any comments at that session. The actual conditional use application hearing is held on the second Tuesday, which is what
14th.
date? The 14th. That's the time to come and give testimony. It's not at some work session. That does not carry any legal weight.
Well, the work session interest on my part is just to learn a little bit more about what they're doing and the impact
Sure.
it'll have on my
You have
property.
absolutely
But I
right
want you to recognize
Understood.
that it's the council meeting and the
Is where the
conditional use
vote happens.
that happens on October 14th. that you need to put your testimony in, which is the record that we'll use to make the decisions on this case. It won't be based upon,
The work session.
the work sessions.
Okay.
So whatever's said at the work sessions is fine for informational purposes, but it doesn't have any legal effect for purposes of the conditional use hearing. And I just want, I'm going to say it for the last time, I get concerned that we get predisposed ahead of time and we start talking. When I say that, I'm directing my comments to council, because it's at that 14th proceeding that you have to vote on this.
Right, and that's wrapped up in a nice package where the workshop might give me more information that'll help me feel safe or not, or worried about the deterioration of my property value.
Right.
And erosion into the stream, perhaps, as well.
But you still have a right at both the work session and the regular council meeting to add testimony into the agenda.
Okay,
That is your right.
all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I will open it up for any resident like to address council for any agenda item only. Seeing none, we'll close that portion of our meeting. And council, if you'll look at the approval of the minutes for Citizens Night meeting of August 7th, 2014, council work session of August 7th, 2014, and the regular council meeting of August 12th, 2014. Are any additions or corrections? Seeing none, is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Moving over to the reports of our tax collections, once again, council, any additions or corrections? Seeing none, is there a motion on the floor?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
And over to payroll, once again, council, any additions or corrections on the payroll report? Seeing none, is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
And to our list of bills and budget transfers, once again, council, I'll open it up for any additions or corrections. Seeing none, motion on the floor.
Motion made.
Second.
Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Council, on the vacancies on our boards, commissions, and authorities, any nominations or appointments?
I have a nomination.
Please.
Jolie Petrus for the library board vacancy.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Any other nominations or appointments? Seeing none, we'll move over to our new business, and I'll read it into the record that the Temple has tabled their application and waives all limits, and that is 12-2-C, 12-3-C, 12-4-C, and 12-3-ST, as well as 12-4-SUB. Is there a motion on the floor?
Motion to accept?
Second.
Is your motion to accept the table, or not accept the table, but to grant the table?
Yes.
Motion to grant the table,
Provided that this is the last table.
this
that-
one time only.
There you go.
Mr. Dice, when would be appropriate time to comment or ask a question about it?
Before, has there been a second?
There,
Yeah, then I'll open it up for
Okay.
any questions.
Well, you can't.
Not if it's
you can't
tabled.
discuss tables one
Oh,
second.
that's right, that's right.
So who seconded?
Mr. Wilson?
Why don't you withdraw your
I
second?
can withdraw my second.
Okay. All we have is a motion, and if you have something you want to
It's
say.
just it's a question. They sent the representatives from the temple sent us a letter about withdrawing one of their conditional use applications. Is that something that we would accept, that portion of it?
I'm reading that letter. All I dealt with was the,
The next letter, and it was in regards of this tower or the spire. And actually, I think that's important for the residents of that area to know that.
okay, so which one is that?
That's application 12-4C.
And that was another question. I believe they actually referred to it incorrectly in the letter. The letter, they're referring to 12-3-C, but they are speaking of the spire, that they actually are, well, I'll just go ahead and read the letter if that's okay for the.
Yes.
After reviewing our building, this is Mr. Hughes and Mr. Shufo. After reviewing our building, please refer to the latest front elevation drawing submitted by the architect. The headroom for the elevator is removed, and therefore the total height is changed, I'm summarizing, to 32 feet, which is under the 35-foot height limit, and the spire is within the legal requirements of municipal ordinances. That was a question that some of the residents had as far as granting, I guess it'd be a conditional use. It wasn't a variance, it was a conditional use to actually have the taller spire. So actually, they are withdrawing that because now they'll be within the
All right.
set limits.
So, Linda, why don't you withdraw your motion to table at this point?
I'll withdraw.
Okay. Then a motion's in order to accept the withdrawal of 12-4-C?
That's SUB.
No, C.
Oh, is that C? Oh,
It's a
okay.
conditional use. 12-4-C. Is there a motion to accept the withdrawal of that?
I'll make a motion to accept the withdrawal of 12-4-C,
Okay.
conditional use.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Should I revise the
Now
table?
a motion's in order to table the rest of the applications as previously stated by Linda.
Can I ask one quick question? I apologize.
Sure.
Is this this motion that we're withdrawing here, we're letting them do, is that because, if I understand, they're putting something underground to make am I understanding something right, I think?
In the discussion I had with the Temple representatives yesterday, and can I comment on this?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's two different options, depending on how they develop the temple itself. If the first floor only exposes 40% of the wall surface, it's not counted as a story as per the zoning ordinance. So they're either going to bury the first floor and have the second floor be the first floor, and then the spire, or under the zoning ordinance, under section 206.4, when a spire, steeple, elevator, bulkhead, communication tower, antenna exceeds the height limit, they're automatically granted the permission to put that spire or steeple there if the building is set back 1 lineal foot for each foot they are above the 35-foot height limit in that zoning district. So that gives them that right without going through a conditional use process for that to be granted to them. The reason why this is here, originally when this application was filed, this temple was 3 stories, and the spire plus the buildings was going to be a total of 78 feet. They revised the temple, downsized it, and now there's 2 sets of drawings. In the set of drawings that the engineer provided to us, it does show that the elevator bulkhead, or the header room, and the steeple are at 50 feet. The elevation drawings that we currently have that were provided to us shows the building not to exceed the height limit, but the spiral steeple will be at the 50-foot elevation. So they are permitted to do that under the zoning ordinance because the building is stepped back 1 lineal foot for each foot over above the height limit.
Any questions on that, council? I thought, you did a good
There-
job last
One other thing, too, on this steeple. I know that this is a very controversial development, and I want to make sure that this is all out for everybody to listen to. There was a comment made at the Citizens' Night that there was going to be internal illumination like a beacon on top of this steeple. I talked to the representatives. There will not be any internal illumination of that steeple whatsoever. However, there may be a few exterior lights that will shine directly upon that spire or steeple from either the roof elevation or some other area. But that light cannot escape that property line as per the zoning ordinance. It cannot adversely.
Does that mean that no one in Turnpike Gardens should be able to see that?
I'm not saying that there's not going to be objectionable glare as a result of that lighting down there, but they're required to provide 0.5-foot candles of safety illumination to illuminate it for the people to go in and out of the temple to their cars and to the temple. That light, under the zoning ordinance, cannot escape the footprint of parcel 3, which the majority of the development is going to be on. And if you look at the footcan or the photometric plan that was provided to us by their engineers, it clearly states that the foot candles are at 0 at the property line for this development.
Once again, council, any further discussion?
I want to go back to what we just voted on. They have, in the letter, it's 12-3-C, which isn't correct.
Correct. That needs to
I would actually, can I withdraw my aye?
I'm sorry?
This is.
You withdraw your vote?
Yeah.
You're voting no.
I'm voting no because they're talking about the steeple, but they're citing the wrong conditional use. 12-3-C, which they're citing in the letter.
So basically, we should all be voting no, because it's
We made that
I thought it
correct.
was stated
There was a
that it was
correction.
12-3. I thought it was stated as 12-3
That's what Mark said.
for our vote.
No, state is 12-4 for the vote,
I'm
which
sorry,
is proper.
12-4 for the vote.
But the letter does say 12-3, which is incorrect, but we stated it as 12-4.
The
which is-
conditional use application that pertains to the steeple is 12-4C. You're right, that is wrong on this tabling letter.
I don't want to agree to change anything if it's, if this is a legal document, if it's incorrect. I think it needs to be
I
correct.
mean, would they have to resubmit this? Can we get them to resubmit?
I don't want this to have to come back.
Let me ask the solicitor, Mr. Dice, if they were to provide a revised letter, can we enter that as
Sure.
an exhibit at the next hearing?
Sure.
And then council can take action at that point in time?
Okay, so let's make a motion to withdraw. You guys are killing me here. All right, let's make a motions in order to withdraw the approval of 12-4-C.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Now, my advice is to have them resubmit a letter, and we'll deal with that issue next month at the time when they come through with their application. Now, the motion to table with the condition that, the express condition that this is the only and last table that we're going to hear or accept is in order.
I will make that motion.
I will second that motion.
Roll call, Sharon, please. Thank you.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
So, Paul, at council's direction, then, send a letter out saying two things, that we've approved the tabling, and that there will be no other tablings that'll be permitted, and that they are to resubmit a letter to be accurate about what it is that they're asking to be withdrawn.
Understood.
Okay, well, council.
Or Mark, one of you. I'm sorry.
Mr. Little will go to number B, or B rather, motions, if you would.
Thank you, Mayor. We have two motions on the agenda for this evening, requesting a motion to authorize advertising an ordinance to appoint a delinquent real estate tax collector.
Motion on the floor.
Motion to approve.
Second. Questions or comments? Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Little.
Okay, second motion is a motion to authorize advertising request for proposals for municipal animal control services.
Motion on the floor?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
No.
Okay, moving over to resolutions. Once again, Mr. Little.
Okay, the first resolution is a resolution to enter into a winter traffic services supplemental agreement with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for the 2014-2015 winter season. This was tabled last month. Would we need a motion to untable?
I think that's appropriate, yes.
Yes. Motion on the floor?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Questions or comments on the untabling?
I have a question.
Sure.
Mr. Duncan, you were the one that tabled this. Do you feel that you've got the information needed to go ahead with the voting?
I got the information, it's not to my satisfaction. I mean, is what it is. Yes, I've got the information.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Duncan?
No.
Mr. Clary?
Yes.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
No.
This is just done.
Mr. Little.
Okay, second resolution is a resolution exonerating the real estate tax collector from the collection of the uncollected taxes of the year 2012.
You know what, we have to go back and vote on this since we untabled that, so we'll
Oh,
hold
that's
that
true.
as
Okay.
well.
So it's appropriate now for a motion
Yeah,
to either
okay.
approve or
Yeah,
reject.
do you want to read that into the record, though? Once again.
Okay, a motion, a resolution to enter into a winter traffic services supplemental agreement with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for the 2014 and 2015 winter season.
Just for the listening audience and for the those sitting here, these items were all discussed at length at our work session. And so again, I'll seek a motion on the floor.
To approve or disapprove.
Approve or disapprove?
Mayor, I have if council wouldn't approve this, then we wouldn't have an agreement to do PennDOT's roads in Monroeville, is that right?
That's correct.
And PennDOT wouldn't do PennDOT's roads in Monroeville.
No, they would have to do them.
Okay.
I've already cleared that with
Oh,
them.
the advantage is,
If I may, I mean, are we still in discussion of the winter
Well,
agreement?
I need a motion and a second first before we open it up for discussion.
I thought we
So
voted.
either,
All we did is untable it.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
okay. Is there a second?
second.
All right,
Now
discussion.
right?
Well, my whole thing was that the amount of money that we pay currently for salt and what the state's allowing us isn't equal, you know. So I asked Mr. Little to take it to the state to ask, you know, if we can get bumped up in our, in the funds. And their reply was no.
Yeah, but didn't that have to
Basically,
do with,
bottom line? No.
yeah, but didn't that have to do with we pay 78 a ton, they pay 64 a ton? That's the issue?
I think it's a little higher than that.
Well, I mean, it's in
difference
that
is higher.
ballpark, though.
Yes,
Michael.
I don't have
That's-
those figures
We
on
pay
me,
more.
because this was discussed.
But we can't get it for that.
Yeah, they use a bigger supplier and a different supplier, which, so they can get it cheaper, and unfortunately, we can't get in on that same
Right.
price. But if we wouldn't approve this, then we would have to use our public works to actually pave even more, or plow even more roads.
No, we would plow less, pay more.
We
for
would
the
definitely
salt.
plow less.
Well, my whole
I'm
thing,
sorry.
we don't want to neglect the residents, so, you know, I'm not against this. And they did explain to us that we could use this towards our agreement if they do something for us, for instance, if they install these storm lines on
See, thank you for bringing it up.
on
that's right.
Northern Pike, that they deduct that cash and for our payback, part of our payback.
That's what I
And
was thinking.
I wasn't also aware of, that Mr. Little explained to me that they give us over an amount. If
Yeah, they
it's a
give what is
bad
called
winter, they give us a check.
severity check, and we got an additional $1,900 for the bad winter that we had last year to make up for the amount of salt that we use. And every community that has a services and agreement across the Commonwealth received what was called a severity check.
So if we do this, the we can actually use the credits towards, like Steve said, towards those lines under Northern Pike or?
That's the agility agreement?
The
thing?
agility, exactly.
Like the quid pro quo kind of thing?
Exactly, that is correct.
So it's,
So it's probably in our
Guess it'll
best
work
interest then. Okay.
Any other questions or comments? There is a motion and a second to approve. Any other? Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Let's go to number 2 now there.
Okay, the second one, a resolution exonerating the real estate tax collector from the collection of the uncollected taxes for the year 2012.
Motion on the floor.
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments?
This is just a housekeeping item,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, that is correct. Any other comments or questions? Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Little, please.
Okay, third resolution, a resolution under Act 205 of 1984, known as the Municipal Pension Plan Funding Standard Recovery Act, 2015 Minimum Municipal Obligation, MMO, for the police and non-uniform pension plans.
Motion on the floor, council.
So moved.
Second. Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call. Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Little.
Okay, the next one is a resolution approving a project to be considered by the Monroeville Finance Authority, which includes the proposed issuance of the authority's revenue bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $50 million in loan of such proceeds to UPMC, a Pennsylvania nonprofit corporation, provided that the taxing power of the municipality of Monroeville shall not be obligated in any way with respect to the bonds, and declaring the financing of such project as desirable for the health, safety, and welfare of the people in the municipality.
Motion on the floor.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Little, please.
Okay, the fifth and final resolution is a resolution for the equipment lease. We talked about this at the work session on Thursday night, and PNC has the lowest overall over a 10-year period. And unless council has any questions on this, any further questions at all? Okay, a resolution authorizing the execution and delivery of a master equipment lease purchase agreement with PNC Equipment Finance LLC as lessor, and separate lease schedules thereto, an escrow agreement for the acquisition, purchase, financing, and leasing of certain equipment within the terms herein provided, authorizing the execution and delivery of other documents required in connection therewith, and authorizing all other actions necessary to the consummation of the transaction contemplated by this resolution.
Tim, just maybe before we vote on it, you could explain.
Hang on a minute. Motion on the floor before we open up for discussion.
Sorry.
Motion on the floor.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Now, comments, questions.
I just wanted the manager to review the list of vehicles that this is going to purchase, just for the
Yes,
residents.
we have two fire trucks. One is a pumper and one is a command truck, and we have 4 police vehicles. 3 are interceptors, what are called interceptors, which are police cars, and one is the vehicle for the police chief. And then we have 3 Department of Public Works vehicles. 2 are pickup trucks. One's an animal control truck.
I thought there was dumps.
Oh, excuse me, and there's a dumpster, and a 1-ton dump, too. I'm sorry.
Any other discussions, questions on this item before you? Seeing none, roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Abstain.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Little. Mr. Dice.
Yes, the first ordinance is an ordinance amending ordinance number 848, regulating parking on St. Vincent's Drive.
Motion on the floor,
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
and there's a second. Questions or comments on this item before you? Seeing none, roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Dice.
Yes, an ordinance authorizing the municipal manager to enter into an intergovernmental cooperation agreement or agreements with participating municipalities and taxing jurisdictions of Allegheny County for the purpose of forming, establishing, and joining a land bank known as the Tri-Cog Land Bank.
Motion on the floor.
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
Second, questions or comments?
I have one question that was brought to me. If in this agreement, an elderly person, let's say, was in back taxes, we're not going to, it's not set up to evict people from their homes.
Absolutely not.
No, I read it, and from what I understand is any attempt they make at a house has to be approved through us anyway?
Yes.
And we're talking vacant delinquent.
We're talking about blighted.
Yeah, ready to be tore down,
Construction,
whatever.
Well, no,
Very good.
not
That
just,
that question was brought to me, and I want,
not just structures to take down, but structures that can be rehabbed and put back on.
exactly.
The test rolls, if you will.
Correct. And again, as I was reading through this, they don't get to autonomously make any decisions. Once they locate, identify a structure, that would come before the taxing body, collecting body for approval.
Yeah, it's through our Turtle Creek Valley COG, and what that is there's basically about 20 communities that are involved in that, and we're certainly one of them. Everyone will, just as Paul most eloquently explained, you will have we as the body up here, the deciding body, will decide what should be on those rolls or what not should be on those rolls.
Right.
And it's a 5-year program for each parcel, if you will. That's a good question.
I know that we talked in length about this.
Correct.
And we have the literature on it. That question was brought to me, and I didn't have an answer right then.
Well, and one of the other things is that I think that for our listening audience and for the folks sitting here, the school district has to buy into this as well.
Correct.
It has to be a joint venture between the school board as well as council, and that's throughout the entire COG community.
And Allegheny County.
The county.
Well, Allegheny County is right. So,
That's all I had.
okay, any other questions or comments? There's been a motion and a second. Seeing none, roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. And then we'll move over to reports of our municipal staff. Bruce, any words of wisdom?
None.
Mr. Little?
None.
Mr. Clary? Or, I mean, Mr. Hugus, I'm sorry, I'm thinking Paul. Oh, I was close.
The other Paul.
We both have
The other
blue shirts
Paul.
on.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Paul.
No comment.
Hugus. Okay. Thank you. Sean Lawley? None. Very good. And right now, we'll open up for public comments on any municipal items for any resident would like to address council. Since you already signed in, Robert, you don't have to sign in again, but please state your name for.
Robert
the record.
Serafini. I just wanted to ask if Mark is going to repost the Bird Drive and so on and so forth for this next meeting?
Yes, we're required to repost.
How about the letters? Are all the members going to receive letters on the Bird Drive as they did
I
before?
think they should.
I think they
it's
should
fair.
too.
Okay.
Okay? That's all I wanted to know.
Once again, I'll leave it up. Come on up. You did sign in before, so you don't have.
Yes,
Just
sir.
state your name for the record.
My name is John Yakem, and I am a resident of Monroeville. Mr. Mayor, members of council, Manager Little, Solicitor Dice, good evening to all of you again. Mr. Mayor, thank you for the opportunity to address you in council this evening. Mr. Mayor, if you will permit me, I already cleared this with the family. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the passing of my friend, Patrick Monahan. Patrick attended and spoke during many council meetings. He had a strong character. He was not afraid to speak out, and he was not afraid to stand alone. Oftentimes, many of us go along with the majority or the mob, but not Patrick. Patrick was not afraid to speak when he knew he was right, even if a majority disagreed with him. He was fearless, and he had actually planned to attend tonight's meeting. Patrick was strong for his family. As many as you know, his family suffered a very difficult time in the last few years, and Patrick was their strength. Patrick and I only recently became friends. Patrick and I shared some common ideas about our community, so a mutual friend introduced us. I am thankful for the time we had as friends. I am reminded of an old Ronald Reagan quote. I'm going to rephrase it for Patrick. Some people spend an entire lifetime wondering if they made a difference in the world. Patrick didn't have that problem. I will miss my friend, and I know many others, including some of you, will also. If you excuse me, eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon him. May he rest in peace. Mr. Mayor, thank you for the opportunity to say a few words about my friend.
Very sad, and we do, I'll just say it from, I'm sure all of council will agree, to the family, sincere condolences, very heartfelt, very sad, very sad. He was a very young man, I think, what, 42? Yeah. So tragic.
It's a medical.
That was our understanding. Anybody else would like to address council? This is certainly your time. Betsy, if you'll sign in, state your name for the record, and that you live in Monroeville.
Patrick was a friend of mine, too. Betsy Desmond, Monroeville. I just want to remind the residents of Monroeville that we're doing a roving crime watch. This month it will be September 22nd, 7 p.m. at number 4 Fire Hall. I hope everybody attends who wants to attend. Chief Cole will be there. We have it opened up for questions and concerns. 7 o'clock, September 22nd at number 4 Fire Hall on Northern Pike. Thanks.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is your time to address council on any item that you so choose.
Mr. Little, will the crime watch that Betsy just spoke about, will it be on the website for everyone? Or can it be on TV 15?
Yeah, we can put that on the website. I thought we did. I'm not sure. I'll have to talk to Andy about that.
I thought we did too.
I thought we did too.
Is it advertised in the Times Express? I haven't seen it yet.
We'll make sure that gets in there. Very good.
Thank you.
That's the right answer.
Thank you.
New guy, all right.
And Tim, you'll take care of that, make sure it goes up tomorrow on the website. Okay, we'll close our public comments section, and we'll go over reports of our officials, and we're going to start off with you, Thomas.
I don't have anything tonight.
Very good. Steve?
All I have is my deepest sympathy to the Mahan family, and that's all I have.
Paul?
My sympathies also to the Mahan family. I was going to mention the crime watch, but thank you, Betsy. That's all I have.
Jim?
I got a few things, once again, at the Convention Center. The 10th, September 10th, Western PA Safety Day. September the 11th is Celebrate Monroeville. September 14th is the Wedding Clickers Bridal Show. And also on the 14th is the Baby Palooza. I'm sorry. I'd like to thank Mike Adams and his staff for taking care of the Cabot Road problem, because they got on it right away, and I really appreciate them getting that done. A lot of people called and said thank you. And I'd like to also thank all the folks that got involved on the Northern Pike Hill project. I understand it's still a pain in the rear end, but we're going to get it done eventually. I'd also like to thank all my council colleagues for taking the time to come over to Northern Pike area, Turnpike Gardens, and spend some time with me looking around to see just what's involved with the Temple project, because I think they needed to see that. The other thing I have is I was asked by someone to remind folks on council and the residents out there, if you see a burnout street light, bring it to someone's attention. Council, call over here, because we pay for them. We don't pay whether they're burning. We pay for the street lights. So if you see one out, please mention it. The only other thing I have is to remind everybody that September 29th is Christmas in September. At Pugliano's, it's for the kids. If you can make it, please stop down. With that, I'm done.
Thank you, Jim. Ron?
Yes, just a reminder, I was talking to Mr. Griesok that we still want to get those applications and the process started for the Home Rule Charter Committee. I think he's looking into that and talking to Mr. Dyson.
Yeah, he's asked me.
Yeah, we've already myself and Mr. Dice we're getting the ball rolling on that and figure out what the proper procedure is.
Okay, so if any of you out there are considering even being on this committee, you might want to watch for those applications.
Ron, just to add to that, would it be appropriate to send applications for anybody that would be interested to Mr. Little?
Well,
I don't think we're at the point where we actually know exactly.
Yeah.
And this is
Okay.
Mr. Dice, maybe if you could,
It'd be nice to know if you have anybody interested, though.
Well, I think they were going to make up the applications once they figured out the process. but-
Okay.
Yeah, the process, the problem is, it's just not as clear as you'd like it to be. Originally, there was a study commission, and the question is now, do you have to actually put something like that on a referendum to even start to reconsider the Home Rule Charter, or can you just go out and start with a new study commission? And that's been the dilemma that we're struggling with.
You'll get some resolution.
Yeah, we're going to get it, yes.
We're moving.
Sorry, Ron.
That's all right. Wanted to get it right. A resident on Cottage Lane was talking to me about some property next to them that apparently a year or so ago, the house was tore down due to its condition. The municipality had removed several homes around the municipality because they were so blighted, I guess. And he was asking me how he might take over that property without the taxes, the tax burden that they probably left behind. I don't know how many years of taxes weren't paid on that. So there is a process to do that, and there could be a different process should that that ordinance pass that we just passed tonight on the on getting together with the county and the school district. So I just wanted them to be aware that I did check into that, and I'll get back to them. The Meadowdale plan, which is the plan at the bottom of Logan's Ferry Road, myself and Mike Adams met down there, and what a project. He showed me that the drainage problem at the bottom of Logan's Ferry goes all the way to the pond across from the school bus garage, and it's really a project that's going to have to start down there and work backwards. And I'll have to see with him later, because half the sewers are half clogged up, some of them are totally clogged up as far as the storm runoff, and it's not getting better. So that's something we're going to have to eventually address. Collingwood Drive, Mr. Adams advised me that it probably will be at least a couple weeks yet to take care of your street. He has not forgotten you, and he will attempt to notify me as soon as possible so you don't park on the street the day they're going to work on it. I, too, want to thank Mike and the Public Works crews for the work they've done around the ward. It's been very good. I understand their manpower situation and certainly the numerous problems they have to take care of. For those of you that haven't seen, there is a significant activity down in the Giant Eagle Plaza lot. I took Mr. Johns down there to see it, and I think about half the parking lot's covered with a mountain of dirt right now. And but they are putting new piping in, and it looks like they're going to correct the problem. Hopefully that'll be off the table here soon. Mr. Johns, the Monroeville Foundation,
Yes, sir.
have you gotten any responses or anything?
No, sir.
Okay, so you're the same place I am.
Yes, sir.
Myself and Mr. Johns came up for a meeting 1 month, and the president of the foundation came in and gave us some information, told us not to worry about another meeting until he got back to us, and we're still waiting. Is that correct?
I understand, from what I understand, I did get an email at one point in time. I did call him on the phone, and I explained to him what he had told you and I, and for some reason, he doesn't seem to remember that, I don't think. Because I thought they were going to put in a new board, he was looking for resignations, and everything was going to change, is how he explained it to you and I both in this room.
Oh, he said that right here.
Right
Well,
here
I'll
in
add
this room.
to that, he personally called me on the phone and told me the exact same story, not realizing I was not the liaison for that board.
So that's, from that point on, it's never gone anywhere.
Right.
and actually, I sit on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board with Mr. Hitchman. He does both. And actually, I spoke to him last night, and he's interested in getting things moving forward with the foundation. They're actually going to be at Celebrate Monroeville on Thursday, looking for new applications. They have some good projects in the mix. It's good for the community. It's definitely a good foundation.
Oh, no doubt, yeah.
So we just have to reconnect everybody.
Yeah, that sounds like what it is, because we were waiting to, at least I was waiting to hear, and I never heard anything. Next thing I saw, they had a meeting. The residents on Hydro Drive, the bottom of your street is going to be paved with the, once that street that it intersects with at the bottom is getting totally repaved. They are going to come up Hydro and eliminate those potholes, so that'll be taken care of. I said at the previous meeting about the less solicitors I see at the intersections. I still haven't seen that many, maybe one, but certainly an improvement. Last but not least, this Thursday, for those of you that don't remember, the mayor so kindly reminded us in the beginning, is 9/11. If you get a chance to take a moment of silence, typically that's at 8:46 a.m. Is when the first plane hit, for the loss of all the New York firefighters, police officers, and emergency medical service personnel, along with military people. And don't forget to lower any of your flags to half-mast.
Thank you, Ron. Nick?
Yes, Mayor. Just clarify, I misspoke earlier about the winter traffic service agreement. I guess maybe the point I'm trying to make is that if we wouldn't do this, and then we'd be at the mercy of PennDOT paving or plowing some of these roads that we currently take care of. And our public service, our public works department does a heck of a job with plowing, and it may cost a little bit more, but I think it's worth it for the residents to provide that service instead of being at the mercy of now PennDOT having to do these things. So just wanted to clarify that. I commend council for passing that, and I think it's a good thing for Monroeville. The Crime Watch was mentioned. Once again, that is for everybody, every resident in Number 4 Fire Hall, September 22nd. That's Monday at 7 p.m. Regarding the Recreation and Parks Advisory Board, it's the last summer concert series. This Sunday, it's actually a reschedule, and which actually is very nice. Actually, this band, No Bad Juju, they are rescheduling earlier in the summer. They don't actually, by the way the contract goes, they don't have to reschedule, but they're kind enough to actually to do this for us, and so hopefully we can get people out there to support them and come out and have a nice evening. It's at 6:30 to 8:30 this Sunday, September 14th. No Bad Juju. They're a lot of fun. Come out to the community park at the amphitheater for a nice evening, 6:30 to 8:30 on Sunday. Certainly condolences to the Minahan family. It's definitely a sad situation. It's never an easy situation, but condolences to them. And like Mr. Harvey mentioned, this Thursday, September 11th, please remember your servicemen and women and also your first responders. These are the men and women that risk their lives every day for all of us, and please keep them in mind. And that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Nick. Linda?
I have one question. Mr. Yugas, can you tell me where Old Ramsey Road sits at? Other than,
Is that a loaded question? Part of it sunk really bad.
yeah, I know, it's just past my house.
Part of
but-
it sunk really bad at this point. No, that's, actually Thursday is the public notice for the first public notice. So it'll be in front of you next month for your consideration.
Okay, thank you so much. I had a resident walking by my house the other day that asked me, and I told him we were moving, and we should have something done for the winter time, prior to the
Yes,
winter time.
it'll be a winter
At the-
construction.
Okay, perfect. My condolences as well to the Minahan family. Mr. Yakin, thank you for your kind words as well for Patrick. It's a very difficult time for his family, and it's very unfortunate when it's a young person like that, and I'm sorry, that's all I have for tonight.
Okay, and I don't want to repeat everything, but I would like to remind council to please direct Mr. Little, if you would, on the Red Oak Court, to have that on the agenda for next month, if you would. If you remember, we talked about that last Thursday. It's a matter of us just making that official with an ordinance, and that should be basically a housekeeping announcement. Am I not correct? A housekeeping ordinance, if you will.
You mean to accept the road?
Accept the
Will
road,
engineering have time to examine that within the month?
Yeah.
We will have it done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And again, don't forget Celebrate Monroeville. Jim, you just forgot to mention the time. It does start 4 p.m. this Thursday. So it's basically 4 to 8:30 PM. Please attend. It's a great event. And apparently, I would like to thank all my colleagues. You've been invited. Please also attend the Celebrate Monroeville this Thursday. And obviously, the Crime Watch, please make sure you're there. And with that, I'm going to ask this council to...
Mayor, one question, please.
I'm sorry?
Are there any updates on Pitcairn Road?
Supposedly, there is some movement. I'll have more information, and I'll even put that on, get Mr. Little to put it on the website. Yes, there is some movement on that.
They're supposed to start construction
Yes.
October the 1st.
Thank you.
But until it actually starts, that's, want to hold that, so, but that's the plan anyway. With that, council, I'm going to ask that, if the seek a motion to go into personnel and litigation executive session, if you would.
So moved.
Made.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, and good night, ladies and gentlemen.